Go ahead and call to order the Village Board meeting for Westmont, September 4th, 2012. And if we could have the clerk call the roll, please.
What's your name called? It was a joke. Mayor Ron is absent tonight. Mayor Pro Tem Seneca.
Here.
Trustee Emery is absent tonight. Trustee Fleming.
Here.
Trustee Klebanow is absent. Trustee Nero.
Here.
Trustee Scott.
Here.
Manager Searle.
Here.
Attorney Zemanek.
Here.
Police Chief Mulhern. Here. Fire Chief Wise. Here. Finance Director Parker. Here. Acting Community Development Director Malik.
Here. Thank you.
And I'm sorry, wait a minute. Deputy Police Chief and Deputy Liquor Commissioner Gunther. Here. I didn't see him copy.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're getting so good at that. Thank you. Under reports, the mayor did not leave anything for me for this evening, so we'll move right on to the clerk.
I have just a few announcements, quite a few. There's still time to sign up for the Rock and Roll Road Rally Saturday, September 8th. Teams should meet at Ty Warner Park at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And the Westmont Chamber of Commerce is hosting a Westmont Pet Promenade and picnic in the park on Saturday, September 15th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's also at Ty Warner. The Patriots' Day ceremony will be held on Sunday, September 9th at 1 o'clock p.m. at 500 North Cass Police and Fire Station. And the library will be hosting a Line Cuts art show on Sunday, September 16th from 1 to 5 p.m. So that's all. There's a lot to do, people, so I hope you had time to write all that down.
Thank you. Anything else?
That's all.
Thank you. Attorney Zemanek, anything?
No, nothing tonight.
Manager Searle, anything?
Thank you. Just wanted to mention again for the public's benefit that on November 6th, there will be a ballot question regarding our home rule status. As I stated on Thursday, we're in the process of setting up some public forums. I anticipate that this week we'll have a pretty much developed a final schedule, so we'll get that information out via the web and be able to announce it at the next meeting. So that's all I have.
Great, thank you. Okay, moving on. I believe there is nothing to be removed from the consent agenda. So we will go ahead and entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
Motion to approve, Fleming. Second, Nero.
Any discussion? Okay. Roll call?
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes. New business. Class 18 catering liquor license creation. Board to consider an ordinance amending Chapter 10 alcoholic beverages, Article 2 retail licenses of the Village Code of Ordinances to allow for the creation of a Class 18 catering liquor license. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve, Nero.
Second, Scott.
Any discussion on this? Got your email, John. Thank you.
Thanks.
Roll call?
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes. 500 East Ogden Avenue, zoning code variance requests. Board to consider a motion postponing a request for a zoning code variance to permit parking in the required front yard setback for McGrath Lexus of Westmont. Do we have a motion to postpone?
Motion approved, Scott.
Second, Fleming.
No discussion on this one. Roll call?
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Moving on, Downtown Development Grant, 226 North Cass Avenue. Board to consider an ordinance approving a downtown development grant request from the Center for Dance. Do we have a motion?
Motion approved, Scott.
Second, Nero.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call?
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
220 North Cass Avenue, special use request. Board to consider an ordinance approving the following requests from Interiors by Gina to operate a high-end resale consignment furniture store in the B1 Limited Business District. 1, a special use permit, and 2, a development permit. And I assume you want those separate?
2, yes.
Okay. Motion to approve 1, anyone?
Motion to approve, Fleming.
Second, Scott.
Roll call?
Wait just a second. I messed up
Told you we were
here.
going to do this fast. I
I
wasn't
know.
kidding.
Fleming, second by Scott. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Trustee
Isn't
Fleming.
it?
No, Fleming
No, I
did the
had-
motion, I did the second.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what you said, second by
that's what I
Scott.
said.
I had something I wanted to talk about on this a little bit before we go any further.
Okay,
Okay.
on this one or on the second one? What does it require?
Well, it could be, special use is fine, let's go ahead and do that, we'll do it under development then. Yes, to the special use.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes. Development permit.
Motion approved, Scott.
Second, Fleming.
Discussion?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this, and I still had questions about it the other night. I think the idea that she's got is a great idea, but I'm still not comfortable on how the liquor is going to be handled in this establishment.
Well, I had some discussions with both Chief Mulhern and our deputy chief who's here, and we all kind of collectively had, I think, the same concerns. We believe that, did you talk to the state today?
No, I haven't, call in, I have not received the call back yet.
Okay, so he's going to gather some more information from the State Liquor Commission, but we believe, and consistent with our past interpretation, that any event where you charge, whether it's charging for painting and you serve complimentary alcohol, is essentially selling alcohol where you need a liquor license. So we don't believe that that sort of event is permissible. If they have a private event where there's no compensation charge, guests come and they have complimentary wine, et cetera, that would be okay. And that's like the Chamber Open House. Well, that's open to the public, that's a little different. They could get a one-day special event license for $100 if they wanted to charge the patrons during their painting class. So the event could happen, but they'd go through the license process and they'd have to have the state license, which they don't have yet.
Right.
This has been explained to the applicant in terms of if you can't get these liquor approvals that you're looking for to have these events, do you still want to move forward with this? And the answer was yes, she still wants to move forward. So she's aware of potential limitations. As I understand it, we're going to do some more research and flesh that out.
So I guess I would ask the liquor commissioner, or the deputy liquor commissioner, are you comfortable with, maybe changing the verbiage to be a little more specific, as you just said, and make it very clear to her that in some cases she might have to have a one-day liquor license?
Sure, once I get a call back from the Illinois Liquor Commission, whatever they tell us she's allowed to do, we're going to spell out in a letter to her so she understands exactly what the ground rules are, because we fear the implications that it could have village-wide. So we want to make sure that we're consistent with everyone, but we want her to know exclusively what she can do and what she can't do, by what the state says. So that's what we're waiting on.
I know this
She'll that.
concerned me from the get-go. Before she was even on the agenda, I had Shannon on the phone talking about this, so. Should we maybe just postpone it?
No.
Until we get answers?
I think not, because what you're approving tonight is the special use for the high-end consignment shop.
So just the development
And the
permit and the
development
special
permit
use.
for a consignment
Okay.
shop has nothing to do with liquor, which is a totally separate issue.
Yeah, I mean, the thing
That's
is, we'll go ahead and let her open and everything else, but
Yeah,
just
that's
explain
good.
to her for right now, no
Right.
liquor.
Yeah,
Period.
This isn't a stumbling block for her.
Huh?
She's going to do this no matter what.
She is.
What happens with the liquor anyhow.
Right. She
So,
might
I
have to
mean,
change
just
the
as
name
long
of
as
the
you-
store.
until we get a clarification on this thing, then.
Okay. Thank you. Roll call.
Trustee Scott.
No.
Trustee Fleming.
No.
Aren't we,
This is a vote on the development permit.
I thought we did that already. No?
You voted on the
use.
special use
Okay.
permit, so this is consistent with that prior approval that was approved 4-0. If you're going to, so this is to allow this development in the central business district. Because of its unique location, there's a separate vote.
But, so this has nothing to do with the liquor at that point?
No,
Okay,
this is
fine, then, okay, then change my
nothing to do
vote
with
to
it.
yes then.
So,
So
did
you-
that change your vote?
Yeah,
Yes.
he
Okay,
changed
thank
his
you.
vote to
Yeah.
Did that
So
change your
yes.
vote?
Yeah.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Never a dull moment in 6:0559. Okay, 233 and 235 North Cass Avenue, zoning code variances and special use extension requests. Board to consider an ordinance approving a request to extend approvals of the following. 1, special use permit to operate a ground floor office in the B1 Limited Business District. 2, zoning code variance to permit the construction of an office building which will encroach into the required front yard setback. 3, zoning code variance to permit the construction of an office building which will encroach into the required side yard setbacks. 4, zoning code variance to reduce the number of required off-street parking stalls to 9. Do we have a motion on number 1?
It's actually just one ordinance on that.
Oh, one ordinance? Great.
Motion to approve, Fleming?
Second, Nero.
Any discussion on this?
Just to confirm, is a one-year extension until September 4th, 2013.
I will just say I'm a little bit, concerned's probably not the right word, but he was so adamant that because of the economy and because he's not seeing construction in the area, he might not do this within the next year, and we may not see the changes. So with that in mind, I would say this is the final extension, would be my recommendation. No further extensions.
Well, what happens if we don't then? Let's say we say no more extensions.
He'd have to go back through the process and start all over.
And it may be a whole new ballgame by then.
Right.
Incentive for him to do it, huh?
I could live with that.
Condition?
It's not a bad idea.
Can you do it or not?
You certainly can make this a one-time extension only. I will say this, though, in a year from now, with another board sitting, ordinances can be amended and
Sure.
that can be changed.
I
So
understand that, I think.
Oh,
if you would like that written into the ordinance as a clear statement of what your intention was at this present moment, then I can do that.
Well, I may give the next board reason to ask why we did it.
Yeah,
Right.
Do a little history on it then. Yeah.
okay.
Good enough.
I mean, he may even change the kind of building he wants to build, you know.
So is that the
Everybody's
direction
okay
from the
with that?
majority?
Fine with that.
Final extension, I'll make that change.
Thank you. Roll call?
Trustee Fleming.
no.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes. Moving on, intergovernmental agreement, Pleasant View Fire Protection District. Board to consider an ordinance approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Pleasant View Fire Protection District in regard to sharing reserve fire apparatus. Do we have a motion?
Motion approved, Scott.
Second, Nero.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call?
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Thank you. Fire paging memorandum of understanding and radio system contract. Board to consider ordinances approving the following. 1, a memorandum of understanding between the Village of Westmont, Village of Clarendon Hills, and the Tri-State Fire Protection District for the fire paging system. 2, a contract with A-Beep Radio for communications upgrade of the southeast and south central fire radio systems for the fire paging system. Do we take these separately?
Yes.
Motion for 1?
Motion approved, Scott.
Fleming?
Oh. Second, Scott, then.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Point 2.
Motion to approve, Nero.
Second, Scott.
Any discussion on this? Roll call.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Appropriations amendment. Board to consider an ordinance amending appropriations for corporate purposes for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2012, to account for debt payment.
Motion to approve, Fleming?
Second, Nero.
Do we have any discussion on this?
I'd just like to say again, so the public understands that we're saving approximately $64,000 in interest by doing this. So we're saving a fair amount of money.
Thank you.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
So if it was 3-1.
Thank you. And as far as I know, there is not a request for executive session, so with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Scott.
We need those Jeopardy buzzers, I swear. Roll call, please.
Well, first I have to know who got
Is
the,
there anything here where?
okay,
Second, I think.
okay. You
Yes.
just got aced out, I don't
Yes.
understand.
Lost, sorry.
Trustee Fleming,
Yes.
trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes, thank you. This meeting is adjourned.
All right.